you want to move with better balance and more control? This video is for you. I'm Coach Kate with your Better Balance and Mobility Minute. Today we'll be focusing on body awareness. When we're connected with our body, we have more control over our body. Our body has built-in sensors that's constantly communicating with the brain. And this creates our sense of body awareness so we know where our body parts are in time and space. It's how we can walk without looking at our feet. So to improve our body awareness, we focus on moving and how we're feeling when we're moving. So this is a little practice to identify your own body's alignment, because we just want to create awareness. So there's no judgment here. We're going to do a little body scan. And I invite you to stand with me. We're going to be just standing naturally, and we're going to go from your feet to your head and look at the 5 checkpoints of good postural alignment for body awareness. Those 5 checkpoints are your feet and your ankles, your knees, your lumbopelvic hip complex, which is your lumbar spine, your pelvis, and your hips, along with your thoracic spine or your upper back, along with your shoulders and your neck and your head. So then we're going to become aware of what feels tight, maybe what feels weak, what feels uncomfortable. And then we're going to do a little practice that I call joint circles, where we'll make 3 circles in each direction of these big body parts. And then we'll just notice when we do the body scan one more time how we feel. Let's get started. So just start in a comfortable position with your feet about hip or shoulder distance apart, whatever feels comfortable for you. Have a chair nearby or a wall so you don't lose your balance. I'm going to grab a chair right now. So let's put that chair right here so you can follow along and feel safe and confident. All right, so I invite you, now that you have something to hold on to for support, I invite you to close your eyes, because then we can really get into feeling our body and feel it move. And right now we're just focusing on the alignment. So just take a moment. We're going to inhale, and as you do that, standing nice and tall, lengthen from the crown of your head, and just feel your feet. Where do you feel your body weight? Is it on the front of your foot? Is it closer to your heels? Is your body weight on the outside of your feet? On the inside of your feet? Does it feel equally distributed? Are your toes pointing inward? Are your toes pointing outward? Are your toes pointing forward? Take an inhale. Let's go up to those ankles. Do your ankles feel tight? Do they feel flexible? Do they feel weak, or do they feel strong? Take a big inhale. Let's go up to those knees. Do you feel your knees pointing inward? Do you feel your knees pointing outward, just a little bit maybe? Or are those knees pointing forward over your toes? Do they feel wobbly, or do they feel stable? Big inhale up to that lumbopelvic hip complex. And I invite you to place your hands on your pelvis if that's available to you, at least one hand, if not 2. And how do those hips feel? Do those hips feel mobile? Do they feel tight? Do they feel weak, or do they feel strong? With your hands on top of your pelvis, is one hand lower than another? Are your fingers pointing down, or maybe down in front or down in back, or do they feel level? Moving now, release those hands to your side and up to your cervical spine, your thoracic spine and your shoulders. Do your shoulders feel rounded forward, or do they feel open? Does your chest feel tight? Does your thoracic spine, your upper back, feel elongated or weak? Take an inhale up to your head and neck. Does your neck feel tight? Are your shoulders creeping up towards your ears, making your neck feel a little tight? Does your head feel tilted on top of your neck, maybe to the right, maybe to the left, or does it feel level and centered? Just become aware of how you're feeling. Take note, and I invite you to open up your eyes. And now we're going to set our base, because having a strong foundation is really important to be able to have a nice upright standing posture. So try to get those toes pointing forward, about hip or shoulder distance apart, whatever's most comfortable and makes you feel most stable. And I invite you to lift the toes, splay those toes, place those toes gently back down, and so your toes are just touching and kissing the floor a little bit so they're activated, and just feel that sense of stability right now. And from here, we're going to do joint circles from our head down to our feet. So I invite you to take a big inhale, lengthen your body, and let's start by making circles with our nose. So let's make clockwise circles, and you can make them as small as is comfortable for you. We want to move through a comfortable, pain-free range of motion, or make it as large as is comfortable for you, just releasing any tension in the neck. Now let's reverse directions for 3, 2, and 1. Back to center. Let's roll those shoulders forward for 3, 2, and 1. Roll the shoulders back for 3, 2, and 1. From here, we're going to do our elbows. We're going to bring our arms out to a T with palms facing down. Now bring those hands closer to your shoulders, over your shoulders, and turn those palms up to the ceiling and bring those arms back behind you. Palms are now facing up, but turn those palms down, and let's repeat that circle for our elbows 2 more times. Turn those palms up, open up, palms down, come back, hands over shoulders, flip those palms upward, move the arms back. Now your arms are in a T with palms facing up. From here, let's move in the opposite direction, bringing those hands behind us as they face upward, over the shoulders, palms face down, move out to the side to a T, palms face down, turn those palms up, bring them behind you, palms face down over the shoulders, move outward to a T. One last time, turn those palms up, come behind you, facing down over the shoulders and out to a T. Now I invite you to bring both hands together and interlace the fingers, bring your elbows to your sides, and for our wrists, we're going to make slow intentional circles with our knuckles. So let's make clockwise circles for 3, 2, and 1. Reverse directions, 3. Notice what you're feeling. Feel that the wrists moving, and release. From here, we're going to make circles with our torso. Pretend you have a pen on top of your head, in the center of your head, with your hands on your pelvis. We're going to make circles on the ceiling with our head. So we're going to make clockwise circles, coming forward. Our body is like a cylinder, and we're just moving that torso clockwise for 3. Now let's reverse the direction for 3, 2. Move through a comfortable, pain-free range of motion. Feel your body moving. From here, we're going to focus on our lumbar spine and make circles with our tailbone. So pretend you have a pencil tip on your tailbone and make circles on the floor. We're going to do a little hula here. So make circles in one direction. That's 2 and 3. Back to center. Reverse directions for 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Let's focus on those hips. Feel free to hold on to that chair. Lift your knee. We're going to pretend we have a little pencil on the top of our knee, and we're going to make circles like on the face of a clock. So let's make clockwise circles for 3, 2, make them as small or as large as you can, as is comfortable. Reverse direction, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Let's shift our body weight to that leg we just lifted, and let's lift the opposite leg up. The higher you lift the knee, the harder it can be, but do the best you can and just make circles with the knee like on the clock face. 1, 2, 3, reverse direction, 3, 2, 1. Feel those muscles working. Place that foot back down. Now shift your weight to that leg that we just worked. Lift the opposite leg. Lift that knee to a comfortable position with your foot flat. For our knees, we're going to make circles with our feet on the ground. So like you have that circle on the bottom of your foot that has a little felt tip perhaps instead of a pencil. That's 1. Make circles so your foot is revolving around that knee. 2 and 3. Feel what's happening around your knee. Tune into your body. Beautiful. Place that foot down. Shift your body weight to that leg we just worked. Lift your opposite leg. Knee comes as high as is comfortable for you. Foot is flat. Make circles with the foot above the ground, like you're tracing a circle above the ground. 2, 3, reverse direction, and just tune into that knee. What are you feeling at the knee right now? When we think about what's moving, we're increasing that connection between body and brain for better balance and better control. Shift your body weight to the leg we just worked, and now let's go to the ankles. Let's lift that opposite leg slightly and pretend the big toe is a pencil and make circles. 1. Nice, slow and controlled circles. Feel what's happening at that ankle. That's 3. Reverse direction. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Place that leg down. Open up those toes, splay the toes, place them down. Now shift your body weight and lift the other leg. Point the toe, make circles with the toe. 1. Make them as big as is comfortable. That's 3. Reverse directions. 1, 2, and 3. Place that foot down. Beautiful. Now I invite you to set your base where your feet are about hip or shoulder distance apart. Toes are pointing forward. Lift those toes, splay those toes, place your toes back down. And I invite you, let's do that body scan once again. So if you're comfortable, close your eyes. Feel free to use your chair for support and balance. And let's start at the feet. Notice how your feet feel. Do you feel equal weight distribution on your feet? Do you feel extra tingling in your feet? More energy moving through your body? How do those ankles feel? Do they feel more flexible? Let's take an inhale, moving up to the knees. Are the knees pointing more forward perhaps over the second and third toe? That's where we want our body alignment. And now I invite you to place one hand or both hands on your pelvis. How do your hips feel? Do your hips feel a little looser, a little more comfortable? And how does that pelvis feel? Do you feel a leveling of the pelvis? Does your lumbar spine feel a little looser? Release those hands down. Feel free to place one hand on the chair. Inhale, let's move up to the thoracic spine, that upper back, and your shoulders. How do those shoulders feel? Do they feel a little looser? Maybe moving back a little bit more? Does your chest maybe a little bit more open? And then how does your neck and head feel? Does your neck feel a little more relaxed with those shoulders back and down? A little less tension in that neck, a little more range of motion and flexibility. So you can see, generally when I do this with my class participants or engage with larger groups during presentations, and we just do that quick 3 joint circles in each direction, people say they feel more energetic, they feel their blood flowing better, they feel looser and more aligned. So this is a way to improve your body alignment and your body awareness, making those circles, focusing on the body part that you're moving, and enjoy better body awareness, a stronger connection to your body and the environment so you can move with more control, have better balance, more confidence, and avoid those nasty falls. Thanks so much for your time, and we'll see you next time.